Last time on Dice Funk.
I'm gonna be a firefighter.
This still seems like an improvement, all things considered.
Little boy Justice is like gesturing to Spider, like,
Half-hearted, but thumbs up is given anyways.
I think the last thing Juniper wants to do before heading off to the end of this is to find somewhere perhaps to squirrel away the notes she's been taking throughout this adventure of all the various plants that she's found along the way. So that if she isn't to survive this, at the very least, someone in the party who does survive will know where to come back and find all the research that Juniper's basically dedicated her time up here to keeping track of.
The other characters take in your answers. Some like them, some don't. All these characters have different strong opinions on things. Notably, Buddy and Laser don't seem particularly thrilled. And I'll actually say that you see Laser get on to Buddy's swag tusk at this point and is going to be riding with him for the race. But before you can say much else, Sydney mounts up on the Sweetheart and takes flight.
Chad is in a suit of armor. I'm gonna point my lightning that way.
Lethal or non-lethal?
Lethal. No more problems. Tired of being peaceful.
So Chad raises the Morning Star to do a flaming demon strike on Treyan, who was honestly whipping his ass, and instead a lightning bolt comes down, hits it, and his entire body just turns into a smoking wreckage as this spirit comes unattached and obliterated.
How's Ray doing right now? I feel like Ray's not doing great, but I feel like that's the only target that makes sense for me to go after because they could start fires.
Aren't they in gem form? So when they're in the gem form, they're no longer a fire hazard?
Oh yeah, if I can just pop out the gem, that's perfect.
If we don't see anyone ahead of us, we might as well get in there first, and then starts to fly ahead to get to the new biome.
Oh no, is it gonna be Little Boy Justice of the line first?
So Little Boy Justice 22 takes the lead out of the party as you approach the end of the biome of war, this long desert. You can see it ends abruptly in a kind of white void. There's nothing obvious to see right now. It just seems like nothingness ahead of you. You can let Little Boy Justice cross the threshold first, or someone can do something about that. It's fully up to you, roleplay-wise, and everything is on the table.
Alright, can I use intimidation to scare Spider? I'm so sorry, Spider.
I mean, yeah.
I just shout fire.
4!
Oh, okay, so I screamed fire.
Yeah.
And that freaked you out.
Yeah.
I'm a tree. I'm the only native in this entire thing except for the homunculi. Actually, yeah, but I'm the only native. I'm going in.
I saw a spark against the dark, and we erupt, but it's a slow burn. I take a chance, we start to dance, can't see enough to know to turn around. The sound of a bonfire carries over fences, titillates the senses. We can feel the heat, a chill wind is pushing you into me, and it's looking like we might be burning down. But we're a bonfire, I keep putting in. Oh, we're a bonfire, I keep putting in.
So Piccolo, you are the first one to cross into the new biome at the edge of the world. And from everyone else's perspective, there is a split second where they think you may have exploded. There is just a burst of color from all around you, and it's clearly centering on you. And maybe everyone, gasps for a moment, thinking something has gone horribly wrong. But then they see that what is actually happening is you were riding on your dodo, and in your wake, as if your body was a paintbrush, you are painting in the environment everywhere you go. So as you race through this white void, you are leaving behind blue sky and floating crystals, as you discussed before, in the kind of ecosystem you wanted to make. And if you dip down, you make air plants that form like the ground that will be here. And, you know, the water below, the nutrient-rich water we discussed. And it's just following in your wake as your body paints the whole place behind you.
Hell yeah. Peaceful place for everyone.
And then everyone else crosses along with you, and their bodies begin doing the same, assuming everyone is still on the same plan.
Juniper definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
Do the new ones, even in their tiny littleness, get to have some sort of influence? Even though they're in crystal form?
If you touch them, if you hold on to them, you can feel a kind of general warmth from them. We've discussed this before, is that they can express themselves in very small, non-vocal ways. But they don't seem like angry or sad, like they lost, but it's like, oh, this place seems cool too. So I don't think they're going to vow eternal revenge.
What if we make like a little corner of this place that has no air? There's like a little air-free corner.
Just a little pocket where they can go when they want to be left alone.
Something you see as you go further east and you're painting the world around you is that in your wake behind you are coming up other racers, and they are leaving different trails which appear to be overriding yours.
Oh.
So this is not over, but everyone's wishes...
This isn't first group that gets there gets the wish and that's done.
Yes, but... can I get perception checks about anything else here in the void?
Also, I want to make an addendum to like what mine is like. It just like so much like sand and like running water. This place is never burning down.
Ooh, 5.
Juniper botched on perception.
23 on perception.
She's very, very overwhelmed by everything and taking in nothing.
19 and 23, the group passes, so you see the thing that's important to see here in the void. The only thing that was here before, it was too far to the east to see right away, but you can see it now. There appears to be a bonfire in the distance, and I realize now that Little Boy Justice is in his firefighter mode. Unfortunately, that was always what was here, regardless of any of your character quirks.
Austin, is this a Dark Souls? Are we rekindling the first flame or something?
It's adjacent. It's not exactly that, but there is what appears to be a great fire burning in the distance, in the void, in nothingness. And as you get closer, you're making the ground around you this air plant ground. We discussed it as almost like a waterbed type situation where there's like a thick layer of plant separating sky from water. But behind you, you see Walter is coming in, and Walter appears to be painting mostly water. They did say like they thought your plan was interesting, but they were not invested so much as they want to win. Buddy is leaving a trail of animals. Like everywhere Buddy goes, bugs and birds and mammals and fish fly out. In fact, Juniper, you botched. And I think part of this is like the consequences, like Buddy sees how powerful they could be, like how powerful he could be here, and is like, oh, I actually want to win now. I'm going sicko mode if I get the chance. Is the botch consequences of seeing physically. It's one thing to say like, oh, I'm just a researcher, I don't want power, but then you see that you have the power to create a world, and it's just one of those things. You don't know how you're going to be until you get there.
Oh no, I was so unobservant that I caused someone else to be more observant on my behalf. I was so unobservant the negative number had to go somewhere.
Upon seeing the fire, Little Boy Justice, I think, is going to cast a Long Strider to try and get there to extinguish it as soon as possible.
So Little Boy Justice, you use Long Strider, so you get to the fire first. And I will say, as you like swoop down on Spider, you can create ground around it. Plants and vines and leaves and everything to stand on to walk up to it. And the bonfire appears to be burning a half-finished or like in the process of being built reliquary. So the reliquary of the Traitor God is here. It looks like, a build site. It looks like a construction site. There's like beams and there's a foundation. It seems to be some kind of temple, some kind of religious temple, but it is on fire and it is just roaring. Oh, hell yeah. 10 stories high.
As I swoop down, appearing into reality is a sandbag, which I'm going to pick up and cut open, just pour out onto the fire, and there's just buckets of water and other fire safety equipment.
Wait, where did you get the sand?
It appears as I swoop down on the ground that.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that part of your
yes.
your desire for this place?
Yes, it is.
As you throw things towards the fire, instead of putting it out, the things transform. Is literally like you throw a bucket of water or a bucket of sand, and as it touches the fire, it transmorphs, as if the spell polymorph was cast on it, and it becomes a pigeon and flies away.
I know what I'm gonna throw in that.
So I'm giving Little Boy Justice the first crack at this. The reliquary of the Traitor God, but everyone else will get here, and then everyone else will get here if you catch my drift.
Okay, well, I think, so I'm at the entrance, right?
Absolutely.
I think I'm gonna cast Spike Growth now.
All right, you cast Spike Growth. Spiky tendrils of vines appear, twisting spikes and thorns, and as they touch the fire, they transform into pigeons and fly away.
Oh, it's all pigeons? Just only pigeons.
Okay.
It appears that way, yes.
Can I, what was the, reliquary looking how is it? Can I try and enter it, or is it the flames might turn me into pigeons though?
Yeah, you from context clues believe the fire would turn you into pigeons and your character would die if you just tried to walk in.
What if my dodo ran in? Would they become more pigeon?
They are.
Insight? Could I do insight on this?
Well, the knowledge skills we have available are Arcana, History, Nature, Religion, and what's the other one there?
I will say that this is the reliquary of the Traitor God, so religion feels like the correct one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the one thought I have, if we figure out who the Traitor God is, what the Traitor God represents, that's our clue to figuring out how to get through. I have an inkling based on
16.
Yay!
18.
Wait, what are we doing? Religion?
Religion, yeah. I have an inkling of what it could be because of the symbology of pigeons, but
18 and 16, the group passes. Juniper, you're the one who gets the best idea, which is that, yes, as people were just saying, this has something to do with the Traitor God's specialty, and you think that there's symbolism at play here. There's a trick. Every reliquary you've been to has a puzzle, a entrance puzzle trick. Specifically here, at the end of the world, the Traitor God who abandoned their duty has some kind of test or some kind of thing they want. I'm trying to give you the best thing here. I think if you solve who they are, what they want, any of those things, what is the Traitor God? Who is the Traitor God?
My first thought, and I don't imagine it's this just because of the unconnected nature of Seasons of Dice Funk, but my first thought was, is it the person who caused the crumbling of the world system in the past? There's a bit of me going, is this a game? Is this a gamer god corner of the world?
Yeah, for longtime listeners, Laura is referring to a previous season, and I will say there are no returning named characters.
No, that was I had the thought and was like, it's not going to be that because no returning characters, but had to get it out of my head because otherwise I wasn't going to think of anything else.
What does the reliquary look like? Can we get is there any clues in in terms of what the structure is or?
Yeah, I will say, Little Boy Justice will get one guess before anyone else arrives if you want to do that. It is half finished, so it looks like you can kind of see where there are beams and so forth that that haven't been completely done up. But it's mostly a wooden structure. It has a kind of temple-ish vibe to it, but also very welcoming. It is a kind of almost informal feel to it. It looks like a place that, yeah, people are buried at, but also it wouldn't be a bad vibe place to be. I'm trying to think of a more specific thing to give you, but
my first thought of I think of I was gonna say pigeon symbolism, and I was gonna go peace, and then I think that's doves, the peace bird, but I was birds, peace. Do we have to walk in as a collective group rather than fighting over getting in? Was my first thought. Ooh. I think I'm thinking of the wrong bird in the first place, but
yeah,
I'm talking it through.
I'm Googling furiously.
I'm just sort of waiting until waiting for.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to say the thing over Sam because you aren't there yet.
Right.
So
yeah, that's why I'm waiting for Sam to say something definitively in character before I try to chime in with something.
Adonai.
Adonai, the Hebrew name for God, Yahweh.
Yeah, I know. It's yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, I know, and I'm not saying.
Wonderful. That would be such a fucking twist if I was this has actually been an evangelical podcast. It's Adonai. Let's all bow our head in prayer.
Skitch, what were you wondering, Skitch?
There's 3 guesses in my head, so I got to go through one of them first. My guess, the guess we landed on in the recording that I want to repeat at least first is freedom, effectively.
So everybody arrives. You're all landing next to Little Boy Justice, who says Adonai, and you all look at each other. Nothing happens. Treyan says the God of freedom. Nothing happens. Mm-hmm. Behind you, you can see Buddy, Walter, Sydney, Laser. Everybody's coming for you.
Mm-hmm. Pandora.
Just a lady, not a god. Just a regular lady.
Okay, damn it.
Laura, do you? I think we've all had one try.
No, I had my one go. It's not peace pigeons, and it's not whatever else it was I thought that made no sense.
You say peace pigeons, and suddenly a number of pigeons flap back down and line up on the ground in front of you.
Is it peace pigeons?
It's peace.
Was I right? Is it peace pigeons?
I think it's peace, yeah.
Pigeons are the same animal as doves, the symbol of peace.
Oh, shit. Fuck. I did not realize they were the same animal. I talked myself out of pigeons and peace.
Yeah, I looked it up. And I saw peace as well, but I wanted to stick by the thing that Dan and I arrived at during the prequel because I didn't want to just jump over that. But yeah. Own it, Laura.
So yeah, do we just have to walk in hand in peace, not fighting over getting to the finish line? We walk in together peacefully.
So a flock of doves or pigeons, they are the same, shows up and they're all kind of standing around looking at you expectantly. The fire is still raging, and I think as you all look at each other, the doves are all staring at you. There's a dozen of them, and then they say, the pigeons just say with one voice,
"What's my name? Who am I?"
Pax.
Yeah, are they Pax?
No, I see.
I said Pax.
You're all Googling the God of Peace. I love that for you.
16 on a knowledge check. I'm -1 on all my knowledge skills, so doesn't matter which one it was.
16 and 16 on history. So Trayan and Juniper, the brains of the operation here, you recall that every reliquary so far has had iconography, statues, paintings, carvings of a series of gods. Every thing, like every portfolio is what's called in D&D, has had multiple gods. So at the beginning of time, there was Gaia, that was Earth, and then there was the gods Sylvanus, and then there was the new god. So it's like almost, we talked about this before, being like, the evolution of man from like monkey to modern human.
Yeah.
So you all are naming ancient gods of peace who you assume would have statues here. Like if the reliquary was finished, the people you've named by Googling would have big statues out front.
Oh.
Right. But it's the most recent god of peace, the last god of peace.
What's this? Is it us?
I will say that is the closest guess so far. With the 16.
Does one of us need to name our own name?
Mari.
What if
I mean, in character, I think Juniper would try saying Juniper.
Austin. It's Austin.
What if
Austin is our god.
What if Sophie entered the call right now and was like, "It was me the whole time."
It was me, Dio, the whole time.
Fuck, that would be so good.
There would be.
Does anything happen if Juniper says Juniper?
No.
Okay.
Like, the problem is, like, we shouldn't, like, be Googling it because, like, you have to, like, go on, like, DuckDuckGo because, like, the mainstream media doesn't want you to know the current God of Peace's name. But, yeah.
And they didn't want to do it because they're a pacifist.
That's a great question. No one knows why. Maybe this is the time for insight now that you've said that.
Oh, insight. I'm good at that. I want to do that. I've been waiting to do that.
4!
13.
10 for Trayan.
15.
All right, 10, 13, 15. The group gets above average. I will say that the what was the thing you just said, Mari, about what their motivation?
Maybe they're a pacifist and they want, like, they're waiting for people to come and choose for themselves what they need. And that might be what they think is the best thing they can provide. And also they're a pacifist. Like, they don't want to fight.
So 10, 13 to 15. I'm not going to give you the exact motivation. I will disprove that. I will say that this raging violence of the fire, that anything touching it being turned into doves, makes you believe they're not a pacifist, but they are trying to give people a choice. I think specifically what I want to give you is that you've seen all the other biomes and seen how even the best intentions can become warped. Even things which are supposed to be beautiful gifts can be nightmarish for the wrong people. And you think that the God of Peace just didn't want to get it wrong. And that they're trying to pass off the responsibility to other people because they are afraid of doing it wrong. And that they have not been able to devise a perfectly peaceful land that people won't fight over. They are like, oh, this is an unsolvable problem.
Can I roll animal handling on the birds?
I think they are magical constructs. I don't think they are actual birds.
Oh. Can I invite them to hang out in my branches? Just
Absolutely.
all right. You guys want to hang out in my branches? Like, it's pretty cool. I know you've been hanging out in fire, so like I know birds love it in here. Just try it out.
I mean, like, yeah, the other thing I'm, like, just thinking about is, like, with the like, having to do the same, like, time loop over and over again where the giant guy was saying, like, the, like, traitor god, or I guess it seemed to, like, tie that to the traitor god, so I guess it's sort of, like, yeah. I don't know, that makes...
Yes. That's a great point. So earlier, Rex was saying that I met the traitor god, and your quest is hopeless. You'll never figure out the mystery. Like, literally, he was saying, like, you'll never guess their name. It's hopeless. You might as well leave or kill yourself. He was literally trying to drive Trayan to despair, to make you give up, killing you over and over again. But I think I'm going to give you something more, and I'm going to give this to Piccolo. So all the doves land in your branches, and you close your eyes to, like, think, oh, who could this be? And you actually get, like, eminent emanations, like psychic visions almost from these doves of every world the god of peace tried to create or like thought about creating, right? They like went through 100 drafts. They like tried for, years to think of the perfect biome. And it's like, oh, what if it has all these beautiful, environments, all these vistas, and it's like people will kill each other for them. What if it has all these resources? People will kill each other for them. What if it has just the most wonderful animals and plants? People will kill each other for them. What if it's fucking useless? What if it's barren and pointless? It's like, oh, people will be people who are forced there, like as refugees or as from economic circumstances, will suffer there. It will become like a hellhole. Every single thing the god of peace could envision ended badly, and it seemed like suffering was inevitable, and they were driven to despair. And this is kind of what broke Rex's mind. Rex met the traitor god and was like, I want to make a paradise for giants. And the traitor god was like, here, look at every outcome that could come from that. And was just shown visions of giants, civil war, dragons invading the land to take it from the giants, giant hunters and giant killers trying to take the land from them. Just every outcome ending in bloodshed. And Rex just like broke psychologically.
Was there like a single named individual who sent us all on this quest in the first place or something?
Absolutely, Laura.
Yeah.
Dio?
Yeah.
Not Dio, but closer.
No. Is this like someone to do with the university?
That's a great question. Nobody at the university knew about this quest. So it wouldn't be someone at the university.
Is it
red?
When Piccolo says red, the fires go out.
Ah! Sorry.
Oh my god.
It's red.
What?
Oh, fuck.
That's why Red didn't come with us, because
Yeah. I was so close to getting there. I circled the drain. I found the puzzle piece to get us there. God damn.
I pat one of the pigeons and does, and I'm like, thanks. And I give a little pat.
God, it's sorry. It's like just the first person we run into, pretty much, on top of everything else there.
Who was the first person the research team ran into?
Yeah, red.
Who was the first person the first research team ran into?
Red.
Who was the first person Dragon Quest ran into?
Red.
The same person got everybody on this quest. The same person brought everyone to a reliquary and said, oh, there's something at the end of the world. You should check it out.
I had fights with and flirted with death. I had fights with and flirted with a god so many times. That's pretty cool. Ah.
Are the pigeons red? Hi, Red. I have a pigeon in my hand. What are you doing?
I think all the doves take flight at the same time, fly into the reliquary as it begins finishing itself. Like a door just kind of paints into existence, the walls all pulled together, and this temple actually strongly resembles now the saloon in the first settlement where you saw on a board the job wanted to help fix Dio. This was like the central building Red was building when Dragon Quest arrived.
Oh boy!
And it is essentially a temple version of the same thing, but
Is this why Red, like right at the start, like had everyone chasing after us and had us on a really bad start, so that we would have to run and go head for something? We couldn't just quietly sit around enjoying this world.
No, that's because I ruined the first quest by not liking slavery too hard.
I mean, Mari did make the whole thing more antagonistic, but literally, yes, Red rigged a battle royale, a Hunger Games, to find the people whose idea would bring peace, basically, or to whittle, everyone down to see their ideas and decide who would win.
Well,
yeah, all of Juniper's like, why does everything bad happen to us every time right from the second we arrive in this world has some different context now that's like, oh yeah, no, someone was trying to make us have a bad time, so we'd go do what they wanted.
Well, Train will move to go in the reliquary as it like finishes then.
Yeah, we're going in.
I will say two things. One, which is when I explained the concept of the traitor god to Dragon Quest, Dan said, well, it's one of the people in the race, and I bet if I was the traitor god, I would want to get as far away from the end of the world as possible, is what Dan said to me, indicating the first settlement, which is where Red was.
Yeah.
Right. God.
Took a second, but we got there.
Smarter than me.
Dan has a knack for just cutting through riddles and puzzles. It is we got
that's fine. That's why next season I'm going to be introducing a bunch of puzzles written by children because they have no logical consistency. Dan can't fix those. Can't solve them.
Also, shout out to Kitty Foe in the Discord. October 16th. They said in the Discord, imagine if the party already met the traitor god and it was Red.
I love our audience.
That's not the first time that Kitty Foe has landed on something.
Okay, let's get inside this reliquary because there's still people trying to get here, and hopefully, if we go in now, everyone else will be stuck with this puzzle long enough that we can do what we need to do.
Yeah, everyone is closing in on your position. You enter the reliquary, which almost feels like a saloon. It is kind of a combination of religious temple and saloon. So it has like the double doors.
I like how you had to very carefully not describe it as a saloon while saying, yeah, it's just like a comfortable place to hang out.
You walk in the kind of double doors and you see a Red, the Cyclops, is behind the bar making you all drinks. She was 12 pigeons. She has formed back together into a Cyclops.
Hey! Oh, you're a person now. Okay, did you like being in my branches? Tell the truth.
I reckon I did. You're pretty comfy.
Oh, all right. I knew it. I have some pretty good branches.
Hey, it would have been real chill to have not had our first experience up here being so rough. How you doing? I'm gonna stop complaining. How you doing?
I couldn't let just anybody decide the fate of this land. It had to be somebody with strong convictions and a good idea. And let me tell you, I have my doubts about yours, she says, setting drinks down for all of you.
Does this have nitrates in it?
It's got whiskey.
Oh. Got any pee?
I'll take a root beer, please.
Oh, no. Red kind of rests, an elbow on the bar and says, so y'all want to make a respawn point, huh? Can't say I expected that, but I've given it some thought, and it seems like something people will be willing to go to war over.
Maybe the point isn't always to make everything perfect. Maybe the point is just to have a place where people can feel a little bit better.
And then if they just go, then they just respawn when they die in the war.
And or to mitigate badness, because there's some real bad options being floated around, and sometimes you just got to take the least bad of the options available.
I gotta tell you, I don't like that. I had the option of taking the least bad available plan, and I decided not to, and that's how I became the traitor god. I ain't gonna settle for the lesser evil.
Well, I mean, you're making the decision of not making any decisions, and you know what the consequences of that are? I don't have a foot. I lost one of those on the way here, trying to prove to you whether, our decision was right or wrong. Like, as if you doing nothing has no consequences. You deciding to just wait and see if someone else comes up with a better idea? Like, consequences are happening while you sit around deciding whether this is perfect or not.
Well, I already done the ritual with the other gods, so all that's gotta happen now is someone's gotta put me in my coffin. And she gestures to the back of the room where in a normal saloon there would be a piano, and there's just a huge Cyclops-sized coffin. And she says, now, I don't like your idea, So I don't think I'm going to go willingly. But also, I reckon this reliquary is quite surrounded at this moment. So we are both in a bit of a standoff.
Tran will say to, when Red comments about like not liking the idea, Tran will speak up a little bit and says, well, Red, I mean, I know it's probably not the best idea, but like, I just think about the fact that, well, Gladys and Throg are, as far as I know, they're dead right now, and Gladys had a really, really good idea about how to make all of Arabella better for everyone by sharing what the different gods left behind, and it just didn't seem fair that I got to die over 100 times and come back, and they died once and it's over. And
you're right. Life ain't fair. And it seems like you're faced with two choices. You can kill me and get what you want, or here's another idea. Y'all can become my, knights or whatever, paladins, clerics, whatever you want to call it. And how about y'all defend me from these other losers and their bad ideas, and maybe y'all just stick around and we wait for another party to come along with a better answer.
I feel like you're stuck in a circle here, Red, where you just want to live with an inaction, and at some point things gotta go, and you're waiting for someone to make you make a choice.
That's about the size of it, Big Tree.
No. I feel like if we wait around for you to decide that someone has a good enough idea, we are never going to decide on anything. So...
yeah, I don't want to be your eternal thrall forever. It seems cool.
I do like the idea of us all being Red's firefighters, but yeah, I agree.
Hey, Red? Red? Home gang.
My question is this though: is there a jukebox in here that could play some rocket tunes while we have the fight here, or no?
Oh, that's a really good question.
She's a god; she can make anything appear, I guess.
Oh gosh, 7! Wow.
I also got a 7.
All right, so Piccolo, you're up first. Red is across the bar from you. This is kind of a traditional wooden saloon. There is a big coffin here. That's unusual. But besides that, it is like, just a very friendly looking kind of temple that Red made to kind of vibe. And this is what it all comes down to. If you kill Red, Peter can be revived. What do you do?
First thing I do, I rage up and yell, "I'm getting raged, but not directly at you, so don't take it personally, because we're having a fight for other reasons than personal reasons."
Such a reasonable rage.
I can't handle any more misunderstandings. It's really stressing me out.
I'm glad that you have also reached the point that I got at with Juniper, where the preemptive sentences before any decision, just like, please, can we not let this isn't personal, don't hate us.
I mean, this is a new spin on D&D, right? The thief who leaves little notes in their target's pocket saying, like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take your gold pieces."
We both agreed to this fight. Remember that, Red. So don't hold an eternal grudge against me when you're an undead god. All right? You said that.
Alrighty then, Tree. Do your best.
Oh, I got a crit. So that means I get to go one more time, right?
Holy Christ.
I get one more hit, right?
You roll double the dice.
You roll triple the dice with that crit because you're a barbarian.
Okay, so I rolled triple the dice for that hit.
Yes.
Okay. So I got a 33, a 22, and a 17.
The 22 and the crit hit. Wow, this is a great opening to the final boss fight. Is just this fucking huge Sakura tree just going like, nothing personal! And just hacking apart a god.
All right, so the first one, 1d12 plus 11, and now that'll be triple what that was.
You roll the damage die. You roll an extra damage die of the weapon's damage type when you crit because you're a barbarian. So
4 d12 plus 22 damage. Okay, let's see. Nothing personal. 41 damage.
Wow, a nice first shot. Oof, Christ. An incredible opening gambit. You slash Red, who becomes even more red with blood. The blood flies over the bar and splatters over it. And she looks up at you and says, "Not bad for a mortal." And here's what she's going to do at the end of your turn. Legendary action. She is going to level her gauntlet at you and just shoot you point blank with every barrel in her brass knuckle gun.
Rude.
rude, but fair.
Yeah. Oh my god, 14.
You did not hit. My armor class is 17.
Didn't even come close. Is that just your bark is just real badass or what?
I'm just too Chad.
Yeah, it is now Red's turn, and she says, I was just a regular person like y'all once. I didn't do nothing special except want to keep people from fighting. So I can die just like y'all. I guess we'll find out how much my power really means here. And she is going to basically shoot as wildly across the room as possible because she has a duck foot spread. So there's 4 barrels on her other hand, which I'll point in different directions. Dexterity saving throw, everybody. There's 4 barrels on the other hand. There's 4 of you.
All right.
18.
24 for Treyan.
So she uses one fist to empty all barrels into Piccolo at close range, but the bark stops them all. She unloads the whole other duckfoot pistol barrage into the whole room. This time, Piccolo, you get hit in like one of the knots on your tree, maybe one with an eye in it or something, so you're going to take damage. And Juniper is the other one that is hit. The other people are able to get down. 30 damage. Damn.
What?
30?
30 damage.
Oh, yeah. If you'll recall, the first time you met Red, I think I said, oh, yeah, she statted to fight the whole party. Isn't that weird? And afterward, I lost some sleep being like, damn, that was too big of a hint. I shouldn't have said that.
So, yeah, but statted to fight the whole party and statted to take half of my health out in one AoE. In one AoE is.
Okay, so, everyone else is saying, like, nothing personal. Unlike you, I just started reading Blood Meridian yesterday, so this is all personal. There's one thing I've established about my character. It's that I'm very susceptible to being, like, suggestions just made from, like, general things around me, and that includes me, Sam, too. So, I'm gonna, just like spit onto the ground, some like white dry spit, and I'm going, you son of a bitch. And then I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on Red. Casted. And then I am going to go up and I'm gonna try and grapple her.
Okay. Yeah, you want to try to grapple a giant. That is certainly a thing you can attempt.
Okay. I mean, I'm also quite large, but yeah.
Sure. All right, I'm going to roll. I botched.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, no. I'm Okay, the flavor for this is like I'm like running up and I sort of like jump and I like slide onto the bar, and as I'm there I'm like I grab 2 liquor bottles that I take in each hand and I use those as like my weapons that I'm going to like swing on Red and like get her with both of those so that she's like sort of discombobulated for a second, and then I descend upon her and just grapple her and like pin her to the ground.
Yeah, you can try to pin her maybe to the bar or something, but the mechanical effect here is she will be prone, which is she will lose you'll get advantage to attack her, and she's gonna have difficulty loading her gun. Which is something she needs to do. So actually, at the end of your turn, I would have legendary action shot you, but instead she kind of struggles to get the bandolier around her midsection to reload her duckfoot guns on her brass knuckles.
Yeah, what's up?
And you said like, oh, I just read Blood Meridian.
I just started it. I think everything's gonna be okay for the kid.
It don't matter what you think. It makes no difference what men think of war. War endures. As well ask men what they think of stone. War was always here. Before man was, war waited for them. The ultimate trade awaiting its ultimate practitioner. That's the way it was and will be. That way and not some other way.
Damn. I haven't gotten that far.
That is from Blood Meridian. Thank you.
Very good.
Your turn.
The judge has only just been introduced, okay?
Trade is going to first make sure that the duffel bag with the little Aetheropteryx and the new ones is set aside carefully so that they're out of harm's way before dashing into the now grappled Red to unleash some attacks. Just saying like, I just got to do what I need to for my friends, and then I'll start attack number 1, 26.
That hits.
And then a crit.
That hits.
Fuck yeah.
For the second hit, I'm going to let's just do this thing here. First damage is 12. The second damage, I'm going to invoke P2's benefit to do half the damage as healing for Juniper.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So that would be that's not super great, but that's 8 hit points healed to Juniper.
I'll take it.
So far, Train has done 20 damage. Then we'll do a key point to do Flurry of Blows, so 2 more attacks. 25 and 26.
Definitely hits.
And that'd be, wow, he's doing so much low damage with his 2-handed attacks here. But that's another 22, so that's 42 lightning damage in that array as Tran just sort of, moves about and elegantly slices at Red while avoiding hitting little boy Justice.
So yeah, the scene is basically little boy Justice holding Red against the bar. Tran comes over and is like slashing at her. She's able to block some of the blows with the brass knuckles, but not much. And so you were like slashing her to ribbons. And she says, I met some real bastards up here. Some people I really hoped would never make it. But among them, you are one of my favorites, Tran, and you too, Juniper. So if it's got to be like this, there are worse ways it could have gone. But I ain't going down easy. And at the end of that sentence, there is a click as she finishes loading her guns and just unleashes the whole barrage into Tran at point blank. 13.
Shit, I wanted you to hit me so I could do the... I wanted you to hit me so I could use my reaction to grab the bullets and throw them back at Red with the different missiles there.
So for anyone who's listening to this, that's 13 with a plus 11 modifier.
Yeah, I rolled 1 and 2 for those 2 shots at this point. Just dog shit rolls. I wonder if is Red like regretful? She doesn't like hurting people. She's the god of peace. It's like a sad necessity. That's what Home Gang represents. So like, yeah, she points, her guns at you, pulls the trigger, and you just kind of like, matrix dodge, and they all go past you. We are at Juniper, who got shot right at the beginning of the fight, but because of the healing from P2, the like slug slides out of your tummy as the hole closes up.
Yeah. So, Juniper's going to make use of a thing she's not made use of in a while. That feels like it's important considering that this fight is probably going to drag on and health management is going to be a thing to keep in mind. Juniper's gonna wild shape into a black bear.
Ooh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, Juniper's a black bear now, who is going to make a multi-attack of 1 bite and then 1 claw attack against Red. Let's see whether...
Can you do that? Because wild shaping is an action, unless you are a certain kind of druid.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. I have to wait until next turn to do it. But I'm a bear now. At the very least, I have some HP that if is removed, that's fine. I'm still fine. So, I'm now a bear. Continue.
Yeah, so basically when Tran slashes with P2, the blood like slides up the blade into the slot in the hilt, and then a stream of magic crosses the saloon to Juniper and hits you. And as it's healing, you start to hulk out. You get like bigger, and your bones pop and stretch, and you just turn into a giant bear as your wounds close, which is pretty cool. But in response, Red loads her guns again, and she says, when I first gave you all this quest, I told you I only wanted power, and that Fortunato fella told you wanted to protect Arabella, and you went with him. I gotta say, it gave me hope. I thought you might be the one, but from that first group, it's just you now, Juniper. You lost everybody else from them.
I'm not gonna say that I picked the right people to go on that initial journey with, but also, literally everyone I met when I got up here wanted me dead, and I wanted to be hopeful that the people I was with could be decent, and no, at least some of them could not, and I tried.
You get halfway through that sentence before it becomes bear noises.
It's okay. We still completely understand Juniper.
We're back to Piccolo.
Yeah, Lobo just like, we love you too.
All right, 31, 28, and 24.
Hell yeah, the iridescent axe and its sick-ass bonus.
Now again, don't take this personally. You are gonna die. Sorry. 19, 16, 19.
Nice. You begin, slashing just like through her body, and she is looking pretty rough. Once again, she loaded her guns on the last legendary action, so I am pulling the trigger now. 27. We finally have liftoff.
All right, that hits.
All right, Piccolo, close range. 21 damage as the whole...
I take half of that, right?
Yes, because you're raging. The barrage rips into your arm. She's trying to like cut your arm off so you can't hold the axe anymore.
Should it be 10 or 11?
10.
Okay. I just stand there like an absolute Chad still. Just look at it and go, this was good. That was really good. That was a really good shot.
Thank you.
Thumbs up.
Against someone less amazing, that would have done some good damage.
Yeah. Red says to the room, I told y'all the truth when I said I got these weapons from a explorer who brought me up here. That wasn't a lie. When I betrayed the other gods, I went back down to the apocalyptic world and searched all over for an answer. Sought out the smartest wizards and the most decorated scholars and tried to find somebody who knew how to make a place of peace. And when they all failed and found Arabella, I caught a ride back up with a captain who gave these to me. The item I was gonna leave behind was this, and she points to the monocle she's been wearing, the thing that gives her binocular vision, because it's a cyclops. She cannot really perceive depth without it. And she looks around at you all with her big eye behind the monocle and says, I can see through the walls. In fact, I see we are fully surrounded. So I'm gonna change tactics. And suddenly you all feel a kind of electrical force across your skin. If you have hair, all the hair stands up. If you have scales, all your scales get tingly. As
My
a
bark
magic,
feels tingly.
Did someone rub us against a balloon and let the static happen?
not quite. Red is using her power to send a message to everyone in the surrounding area. You all hear her say, "This is the God of Peace. Welcome to the final home gang. The rules are simple. The last one standing gets the land." And then that electrical feeling kind of emanates out from you in a wave, and suddenly the reliquary falls down all around you. Every board and beam and strut comes completely apart. All the nails and the screws and bindings all just completely pull apart, and the whole building falls down all around you, revealing that the building has been surrounded by other contestants who are all waiting to win the final home gang.
This is just classic Red indecision,
Yeah, you gotta make a decision, Red. Now that you've made a decision, you're going back on it. And I'm just pointing it out as a friend. Not trying to attack
This is
you.
so fucking you.
Oh, whoa. I mean, we don't need it. I just feel like you're going back on your choices, Red, and I just had to say it.
No, you're right. That is very her. She hates having to decide and just doesn't want to make the wrong choice, so leave it to other people.
Personally, Red, I thought you were growing as a god, but, I feel like this is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Just had to say it.
I'll say that during all this, Trayan is just scooting the duffel bag with the Aetheropteryx and such underneath one of the tables for at least some protection before.
An important thing is I did a spike field outside the entrance to the reliquary, which now, it's surrounded, so that doesn't entirely matter, but whoever is there has to, would not have seen me cast it, and so would not, let me look up the whole details of it. They would have to do some checks to see if they could even detect it, and then get messed up a bit by it.
All right, well, we will get there in a second. I will say, Juniper, you turn around and you see Laser standing behind you. Piccolo, you turn around, you see Buddy. Little boy Justice, you see Fortunato. And Trayan, you see Sprinkles. Each of them is carrying with them kind of the aura of creation. Remember, as you streaked across the sky on your mounts, you were painting the world in behind you. And that something very similar is happening here. Everywhere Buddy walks, animals of every description just kind of pour out, followed by soil and plants and stuff like that is their territory. Wherever Laser goes, fresh, earthy farmland springs up, and trees heavy with fruit. Everywhere Fortunato goes is actually very interesting. It looks like more like the biome of life that Trayan was at before. It's just like flesh and goo and slime, because they feel like they are the person who has the right to be here. And Sprinkles is just a sucking void. In fact, Trayan, you are plunged into a breathless atmosphere. This is a particularly cruel thing here for this person you cannot speak with, but blame for the death of your friends. But you are unable to breathe, and your fight actually has a time limit as the little homunculus stands across from you.
Juniper's just looking at Laser going, "You've got really cool... I really like your ideas about what the end of the world should be. Why were we ever fighting? We seem like we should be friends."
I'm sorry, Juniper. I don't speak bear, but I assume you are asking for us to fight side by side. However, I can't risk someone else killing you or Red and getting all the land before we can. We made a promise.
So we're gonna make it quick, okay? Just stand still and let us finish you.
Yeah. Also, wait, who would have gone through my spike hazard?
Little boy Justice, it's Fortunato who's behind you when the walls fall down. And, they see you. A thing we haven't talked about before is that they, were in the last reliquary, or not the last one, in the reliquary of dessert. And I said they had they got the body part. And I might have mentioned this, but it was, they were fighting in the background. They have the skin of the god of dessert, which is gingerbread. Literally, it was
I was hoping it would be a belly.
It was a giant gingerbread man, and so even though Fortunato is like all gooey slime inside, they currently have like gingerbread armor in their normal purple cloak and hat, and they're standing behind you, and they say, well, traitor, maybe you should have not broken your promise, huh?"
And yeah, little boy Justice is like, wait, what are we talking? Wait, what happened there? I hit my head. I hit my noggin, and now I don't remember everything. But I'm a firefighter now.
Oh my god! Likely excuse.
No, it's true. And then I'm gonna show the big goose egg on my head.
Oh my god! You promised us the nervous system and took it for yourself. You can't be trusted.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure I had a good reason. There could have been. Were there any fires around?
Oh my god.
Or crime afoot?
Buddy says to you, Piccolo, "Hey, bro. I just want to make a world for animals. I think your plant shit sucks, honestly, and I know you can't really appreciate where I'm coming from, but you also don't really understand the concept of money, right? And how I'm going to be the most famous and richest researcher of all time in a couple months. So, no hard feelings."
Dude, I thought you were chill. I don't know. I had the impression you were chill. Guess not. Whatever.
I'm extremely chill. You just have never seen a movie, or you've never read a book where there's a big suitcase of money and a bunch of people have to fight over it. It's kind of what's happening right now. I realize you just don't have the context for it.
I mean, the biome we have is gonna have plants and animals. It's gonna have them both.
Yeah, but also Juniper's research she hid in that last reliquary, and I have to take that too, and the Vimble's maps, and I'm gonna take all that stuff,
When did you get so unchill, dude? You sold out.
Yeah, you could just take your own research back and become famous and be done.
I'm gonna roll an intimidation, just to be to make them feel bad about themselves. Yeah, you sold out, dude. It's not even cool. 9 didn't work. Whatever.
Buddy holds out the iron rod of the god of death in front of him, and with a thought, it bursts into rainbow flames. And he says, "We're here at the end of the universe, and there are no city guards, there's no witnesses. I'm just gonna say how I really feel now, which is, I've always hated Juniper and all of her wormy little friends. Whether it was the botany department taking all the funding from the zoology department back at university, or whether it was her tiny little psycho friend stabbing up my swag tusk in a friendly competition, you have all been nothing but rash, impulsive little freaks, and I'm sick of it. Okay? I'm not making excuses anymore."
Why are you fighting me? I threw Vimble into a big pile of tar. Turned him into a purse.
Well, are you gonna kill little boy Justice?
I mean, sometimes I want to. I haven't really thought about it yet, to be honest. I was gonna steal.
Okay, one-time offer. Cut little boy Justice's head off and I'll join you.
I don't know. I kind of feel like you're a sellout, so I'm just gonna hit you.
All right, let's do this thing. Buddy says, as the swag tusk, a fully armored rhinoceros boar type creature, kind of crests the ecosystem around him, as birds are constantly bursting out in a corona around this dryad.
This is just another stage of the same fight, right?
Correct.
I'm still fucking raging, non-personally, but you know what? It's a little personal against Buddy now because Buddy's a sellout and being kind of a jerk.
Wait, am I still holding red down?
So I mean, you can if you want. That means that you're just gonna get ganked. I mean, you're gonna get murderized if you choose to do that, but that's on you.
No, yeah, I'd rather not get murderized.
All right. So first things first. Am I basically in a separate like pocket dimension from everyone else effectively here?
The walls of the saloon fell down, and there were characters gathered all around it from the four sides. And so you turn around, and there's Sprinkles. She is a pug-sized creature with bat wings. She has a hollow disc in the hollow runner. But everywhere she goes, it creates a kind of sterile void place, and it's without air. So like, if you want to get in and punch her, obviously, but you will suffocate if you do not figure that out quickly.
The only reason why I ask is just if Train senses that sort of stuff, priority number one would just be to make sure that they're not close enough to the duffel bag to cause a risk to like the Aetheropteryx and such. That's all. So, but Train just sort of like looks at Sprinkles, kind of, trying to but failing to hold back tears about everything that that he's been sort of thinking about before he grits his teeth and starts to and then moves to rush in. When he gets close enough to Sprinkles, Tran tries to say something, but because of the lack of air, nothing comes out, and it causes some little trouble for him as he makes his first attack against Sprinkles. That's a 20.
As a reaction, Sprinkles strikes a card across the hollow runner and summons a creature to take the blow. I will put a picture in, and you can tell me how it makes you feel.
You can't let that thing take a hit for you. That's a crime. That's a crime to have that thing take an injury.
Oh my god. Austin, why did you do this?
Austin knows the game here, so I'm.
Oh, anyone who would throw this thing in the way of damage to save themselves, anyone who would do that needs to die.
It even looks a little sad, like it's like, oh, I'm sad, please cheer me up with a hug. Like it's reaching out to be picked. What? Austin, why did you do this to us?
It's funny you say that, Mari, because there is a reason that I've chosen Melfi Rabi, the pink Yu-Gi-Oh character, which is in the prequel episodes. It was suggested by Dan to represent how Sprinkles feels about herself being enslaved by the Aboleth. And so...
how is that our problem? We helped Sprinkles. We killed Aboleth. Why is Sprinkles still mad at us?
She's not. She wants to win.
Yeah, that's
kind of rude. We set her free and kill her old slave master, and now she's just still the...
I got possessed for you, Sprinkles.
Yeah, we were gonna make a little place in the place we're gonna make anyway. You're so rude.
Now, we're resurrecting the Aboleth. That's what's happening in the respawn pool now. Fuck you, Sprinkles.
This is all trying to be happening in the half second it's taking for Tran to decide whether or not to let the sword hit this thing or not. I'm just going to point that out.
Oh, you hit it.
Yeah.
Hit it. Don't let yourself get manipulated. It's not real. It has no feelings.
Tran will see it and recognizing it immediately does sort of relax on the swing and misses the thing that's summoned by Sprinkles before he just stares at Sprinkles with just very sad eyes and gritted teeth.
Yeah, the particular cruelty of this is you two could definitely talk this out. We know that you have that capacity, but just because of the nature of her desires, it makes it impossible to communicate.
Right.
Tell her that we're resurrecting the Aboleth if we win.
Oh, don't.
The Train is going to try almost in vain to get another attack on Sprinkles to try to avoid what's the name of the thing that was summoned again? Sorry.
This is Melfi Rabby.
Train is going to try another attack at Sprinkles while avoiding the Rabby in this case here. That's a 22.
If you continue your attack, the rabbit starts glowing and growing, and it enters its next form, which is...
Yep.
Whoa. Yeah, you can't hit that now because it's too sexy.
Why is it sexy?
You get distracted.
What if a cute pink bunny rabbit was now suddenly like a very roided up bodybuilder?
Yeah. No, it's too hot to hit because you're like, whoa.
So Austin, now you have someone that Trey can do like nutrition and workout discussions with. Now we're talking here.
I will, yeah. Sketch knows that Dan also shared that fan art with us last recording. But now it's a huge buff Melfi Rabby who grabs P2 and it's going to take damage. Like you are slashing into this pink bunny's, hand. But this is now, an 8-foot tall, totally roided out, muscle bound, fluffy pink rabbit.
All right. Well, in that case, it takes 14 damage lightning from P2 in that case as it grabs at it. And then Tran will use a key point to flurry of blows with their offhand because the sword is being kind of gripped by the huge swollenness in front of them. That's an 18 and a 14.
18 hits.
And so that's just another 7 damage. So a total of 21 damage against this Rabby as Tran then tries to figure out how to deal with the fact that he can't breathe while in this close quarter here.
Absolutely. The Melfi Rabby, which is just a hulking, gargantuan monster at this point, just attempts to twist your arm. 14, you are able to kind of spin with it almost, like do a full 360 spin instead of having your arm broken at the elbow.
It's like they're dancing. They're like doing like a little bit of a. they're doing like a Lindy Hop, just
I've
like
seen this in a kung fu movie. It's cool.
Yeah. Sprinkles looks up at you as you do that and just kind of blows a big cloud of cigar smoke and looks at you sadly. She doesn't seem to be enjoying herself, but also she has 5 hit points, so she cannot let herself get hit. Juniper, it's your turn.
Right. So the win condition for this fight is defeat Red.
Yeah, I will say that whoever kills Red gets their wish. Anyone leaving their personal fight will take attacks of opportunity and then you will get stabbed in the back, but it's on the table. Basically, she just said, last person living gets what they want. Battle Royale, begin.
We'd done a decent amount of damage to Red before this happened, right?
It's hard to tell. There is no bloody condition in fifth edition. I didn't mean to use the word condition twice.
That's fair. Juniper is going to use the fact that she is currently a bear with an additional health bar that is not her usual one to attempt to attack Red. Because if an attack of opportunity happens, it's going to go into the bear health and not Juniper's.
24 is that attack of opportunity.
24 is going to hit. How much is the damage?
23. Oh my lord. Both of Laser's hand faces open up and just shoot streams of hot fire at you as you turn tail and run back to Red. So basically 2 flamethrowers hit you in the back and Laser just yells, "That's not a funny move, Juniper. I didn't see that coming."
So, I automatically revert to my regular form, but I have successfully detached from that fight and can try and get a big hit in on Red. And I'm going to try and capitalize on this opportunity. I'm just taking a quick look at what option I want to go with quickly.
I can't believe a bear can't survive 2 flamethrowers to the face. I thought that was a kind of OP animal. Turns out.
Okay. I am going to need a dexterity saving throw from Red as I cast a 5th level Call Lightning.
Hell yeah.
Oh no, her worst stat.
Yeah.
16.
You needed... That is a match. So you're going to take, what, half damage? Well, you're going to take half damage, but it is going to be, what, 5d10 that I'm rolling? And this is per turn.
Mm-hmm.
33 is the roll, unfortunately halved, but that's still, what,
16.
16?
Pretty good, yeah. So you're facing Laser. You turn around as a bear and start running towards Red. You get hit with 2 flamethrowers in the back. It looks like you're just immolated, but then Juniper, perfectly fine, comes out of the smoke and fire with her, electric ring held high and actually holding Laser's scythe of all things. And then lightning just streaks out of the sky and slams into Red.
Juniper's thought right now is don't get suckered into fighting everyone else. Like, focus on the objective, because there is only one objective right now, and anything else is... The last thing that Juniper wants to do is get wrapped up in a personal fight while someone else walks around that isn't paired up with someone that Juniper hasn't noticed and goes and slits Red's throat or something.
I admire your clarity of purpose, Juniper. It's very much like our commitment to our followers.
We would do anything just like you would.
But on some level, you have to admit some selfishness. You could have gone home at any time, but you've stayed in this fight.
Is it because you want your foot back?
I thought I was gonna die for no reason. I thought people who misunderstood why I was here were gonna kill me. I thought that, I've seen people up here willing to kill each other and die over their ideas. Being sad about my foot feels like the least important thing right now, because all I can think about is the fact that basically everyone who's up here right now has very understandable, reasonable things that they want that we could just stop and talk through. And I'm not going to sit here and be petty and go, well, I need... Look, if I don't get what I want out of this end of the world, that's fine. I don't care if I don't get my foot back. I don't care if I can't make a corner of this world that is great for plants. What I don't want is a bunch of us people who are good-hearted and have largely positive aims, not everyone, but largely, to kill each other over having mildly different ideas of perfection.
When you say, I don't want my foot back, Laser stops. As he's walking, you see farmland is sprouting up all around him, the riven rows from a plow in a field are visible at his feet, and you can kind of barbed wire fences are springing up as if they're part of the environment. But then you say, I don't even care if I get my foot back, and he stops, and looks at you with 6 eyes.
Yeah.
Persuasion with advantage.
Okay.
I'm not chipping in here because Trayan can't say or even hear anything because of where he is. Sound can't even reach him because there's no air.
Oh, a crit on the first roll.
Yeah.
That is a crit on persuasion.
That's a crit. So you look at Laser. He walking towards you. A cow appears next to him. A goat appears. He walks up right next to you.
Ron appears.
You're holding your scythe up. As lightning shoots out of it up into the sky. You're having this conversation while doing this lightning attack, or maintaining concentration on the lightning attack. And fire brims in all 3 of Laser's mouths as he looks at you, and then he puts his arms over your shoulders, steadying the barrel of a sniper rifle, and fires all 3 flamethrowers, one over each shoulder and one over your head, into Red.
Okay, so I'm assuming here that I have successfully convinced Laser to help fight Red, and if Red is defeated, to not just go in and go, my wish, done.
Yeah, you crit.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to check this wasn't, like, gonna be, haha, okay, yeah, I'm persuaded by you, but also I did win, so fuck you.
43 damage as 3 streams of fire from the lungs of the god of the sea that are inside of Laser fill with flame and just turn her into a raging inferno. This is actually the second time she's been lit on fire. The one time was in the reliquary of lightning, where she was lit on fire, I think, by Ray. And so you've seen this before. So she is now extremely red, blood, fire, and her clothing. And Laser kind of, lets the fire peter out and looks at you and says, "You can have your foot back."
I appreciate that. I do miss getting to do the hops. I was so good at hopping around.
Another convert to Team Kill Death.
Fortunato the Plasmoid is now clad in gingerbread armor, but inside is a squishy fluid person. They run up on you and are going to do poison spray and acid spray, one from each hand, as like each the tips of the gingerbread open up, and gunk shoots out. Constitution saving throw.
Okay, and first I'm going to absorb element.
Oh, nope, it needed to be 16, so this is going to hit, but you have resistance, so it's going to be half. So you take, oh my lord, 3 damage. Dog shit. As you are, covered in gunk and, poisons and slimes and acids, but you just kind of swirl it up into the hammer of the boop. Is that how you kind of absorb it?
Yeah.
All right. It's going to be your turn. And Fortunato says, "This land isn't yours. Go home."
Yeah, so I feel like now, I'm a Blood Meridian cowboy firefighter. So I'm gonna be like, listen here, all I want is to kill death, and now you. And so I'm going.
Congratulations, you're now death. I declare you sentenced to death. Death.
So I will Hunter's Mark onto Fortunato, and then I'm going to attack with the Hammer of the Boop, and that's a 25.
As a reaction, Fortunato whips out the tool of the god that was in the reliquary of dessert. You never saw what the item in there was. It is a stainless steel icing gun.
Yum yum.
And then Little Boy Justice is gonna be swinging. He's gonna open up his mouth and he's gonna go ah.
I mean, Fortunato hoses you down with creamy icing from this weapon, and you are going to take disadvantage as you are all gunked up.
Okay.
So your 25 needs another roll, and you're actually going to have disadvantage going forward as you are just.
So the second roll is 26.
All right, I was going to say you were turned into like a walking icing golem, but instead you just whack this dude in the face with a hammer. Never mind.
So that's 11, but I'm also going to do, because I have the absorb elements, it's 2d6, so that's 9, so that's 20.
Yeah, you knock Fortunato down into like the rubble of what was once the saloon, and she says, "There's no such joy in the tavern as upon the road thereto."
Yeah, you're way further in this book than I am, or I assume have actually finished it. I'm on I'm partway through chapter 3.
Spoilers.
All right, so you start hitting Fortunato with the hammer. It seems like you're getting the better of them, but they keep spraying you with gooey icing from this, pre-apocalypse icing gun until you are too gooey to continue your attack for the moment.
Yeah, but also I am, a big, massive golem dude who also is wearing, like firefighter, old West style stuff. But then he's also like whenever I'm like covered in the frosting, I'm gonna like Scooby Doo style like massive tongue come out and just like lick off my entire face of all the frosting.
All right, it is now Buddy's turn. Buddy jumps up on the swag tusk and attempts to run you down. Piccolo, strength saving throw.
15 and 14.
All right, you take 9 damage and you are knocked prone as the swag tusk simply charges into you and runs you over.
What kind of damage is it?
This is just force damage. It's basically a steamroller hits you, and it is pretty hellacious. You've never been hit with something this mad at you. And Buddy is riding the animal with his flaming iron rod, and now that you are prone, is going to try to hit you with it. Buddy is not a fighter by nature, is not a particularly gifted combatant. 22, that's going to hit.
Oh, that's my... Okay.
And you are going to take... just 6 more damage as Buddy starts beating you with the iron rod he got from Juniper.
Okay, what kind of damage is that?
This is magical damage from the reliquary of death. I guess necrotic. It is literally the death god's item.
All right, if I could get some pussy juice over here whenever you get a chance, I'd be down.
Holy Christ!
Gosh. Well, you got to. The problem with Trayan doing that is Trayan is up against something that he really doesn't want to do damage to, and that's the only way he can heal someone is to do damage.
Whatever amount of trickling you can give me.
What you're saying is that Trayan's not in a position to provide you pussy juice right now.
That's right.
Well, if you get any pussy juice, send it my way.
Just a crumb.
A morsel.
A trickle, just a...
Just a trickle of pussy juice. That'd be appreciated. Whenever you get some, I'd love it.
Oh my god.
All
All right, so I'm gonna do my thing now, right?
Yeah, do your thing.
24, 19, 26. Did all those hit?
All those hit. Absolutely. Piccolo's unstoppable.
It was like, I think it was really fucked up when you brought up books. That was really fucked up. Those are made of trees, you sick fuck. 23 crit. 18, 15. So does the crit get anything?
No, that just means you max the damage on that die.
I just, because I'm so mad about,
Yeah.
you never read a book. No, I didn't read a book made out of myself, you sick weirdo.
I get it, Piccolo. You're filled with self-loathing because you killed all those people. And even though Sydney says she forgave you, on some level, she will always be disgusted by your memory. And people will always hate you once they hear your story. And this isn't even about plants and animals. This is about reputation, right? You could be like me. You could seize all this opportunity, take the notes back to the old world. You won't just be rich and famous. You'll be eternal. You'll go down in history. There won't ever be a conversation about exploration that doesn't include your name. But you have to win this to do that. Otherwise, you're just some loser who got wasted at the finish line.
You hate yourself wanting to be with animals and putting them above plants. A little weird, dude.
I mean, you say that, Mara, you've hit the nail on the head, but he absolutely does hate himself. So he just starts hitting.
Well, I'm going to do an intimidation thing and tell him to cut it out. And also, you know what? You need to start loving yourself because it's kind of gross and weird how much you hate your own kind, bro. 19.
You're going to scare him into loving himself.
Yeah, that's right. You better start loving yourself today, buddy.
All right, 19's very good. Here's the thing. What argument do you make besides love yourself? Was there something more nuanced? Because I think you saying you hate yourself, bro, just makes Buddy hit you with harder. But 19 is very good. So if there's a Volta in this exchange, I think we can make it work.
Buddy, you let your self-hate take you down a path that ain't you. You used to be chill. You used to be cool. You used to want to go with the flow. And now all you can think about is power and gaining stuff and teaming up with animals. What happened, dude? What happened?
Animals rock. They're cool.
Oh, and check out my dodo. I love this dodo. They have no thoughts ever. Don't look directly in their eyes. You'll get lost. But they're cool. Me and this dodo work together, but that doesn't mean I hate myself. Me loving myself makes me able to love this dodo even more.
I will say with a 19, this is going to work for the moment. It doesn't mean Buddy is like magically fixed and like, oh, I actually don't hate myself anymore. But like, you've given him pause. So we'll come back. Trayan, giant buff pink rabbit, is protecting the homunculus Sprinkles, who you believe killed your friends.
So, question for one. Are there any complications yet for being in this sort of like airless realm around Sprinkles?
I'm a fan of the rule of 3. This is the second turn. I will say after 3, we're going to have a discussion about you having to breathe.
Like, Trayan is trying to mouth like words at Sprinkles, like, effectively to the effect of trying to say, where's Gladys, where's Throg? But again, no sound comes out, and from Trayan's perspective, all this chaos is happening around, and they're just in this silent pocket. In the HBO adaptation, there'd be some like reverb heavy slow piano stuff going on without any dialogue happening while this is all going on. Now, and the other question I was going to have is the big buff rabbit, is it still holding on to P2 at the moment?
Yep.
Okay. Trayan's going to try to pull it back to get an attack on the rabbit. Do I need to do anything to get that to happen? Or
nope, that's just flavor.
Okay, got it. First attack is a 24.
Hit.
And we'll see here. The damage here is that's an 11 damage. So here's the thing. I'm going to test this. Stunning strike.
Mm-hmm.
Does it? I wonder if it works against the summoned entity.
Yeah, I got to make a con save.
Correct. A con saving throw against 17.
All right. This is a pretty buff bunny. We'll see how it works. 20.
All right. So Trayan doesn't know if it doesn't work. All he knows is that it didn't work this time. Second attack. That's another 20. That's a 22.
Nice.
That's going to be 12 on that. This is all still lightning. We'll spend another key point to a flurry of blows. 16.
Does not hit.
And then 26.
Does hit.
And this last one, I'll split the damage. Somehow noticing Piccolo taking damage, so Piccolo gets 7 hit points of healing. And so that means total damage dealt here is 30 on the summoned entity.
All right, pretty good. So you try to do like a chi blocking strike to stun Melfi Rabbi, buff edition, and it just looks down at you with just its kind of giant pleading anime eyes, and then it tries to do a overhand like hammer smash. I botched. My word, I botched. The rolls this episode are rancid.
Okay. Any consequences for that, Austin?
What do you think is most interesting here?
I'm trying to think. Counterattack's one option. I part of me wants to see if it would be possible for Trayan to maybe like try to move around it as it slams its fist into the ground and get himself close to Sprinkles to basically kind of put himself between Sprinkles and the Rabbi in this case here.
Sure. I think that's definitely, the most narratively dynamic thing is like do a slide under the rabbit, like maybe between the legs or something to do like almost like a baseball move to get down to Sprinkles level too, because she's so short. And you're right there.
Yeah. And now Trayan is just sort of like, Trayan has the sword, gripped in hand, has slid on the ground so they're more at eye level with Sprinkles, and just sad eyes looking into hers, and the mouthing of the names Gladys and Throg while that's all going on.
All right, yeah. If you get it right up in her face and then you mouth unmistakably those two names, something comes over her and she puts the Melfi Rabbi in the discard pile and it desummons.
I was going to say, I have to make me do a persuasion check at this point, or
Yeah, I think we've done persuasion and intimidation. I think the only other charisma thing would be deception, but you're not lying. So
yeah.
I feel like we've got there naturally.
No, that's fair enough. The only reason why I'm bringing that up is that there's actually a very interesting class feature for monk that for this monk we never tapped on, and that is there's a thing called Draconic Presence where if you fail intimidation or persuasion, you can use a reaction to re-roll the result, which is kind of a neat thing, but we don't have to do that. But yeah, but Trayan sees the rabbit being unsummoned, blinks once or twice, then looks back to Sprinkles at that moment, confused at that.
All right, one more turn with no air, Trayan, as we go back to Juniper. Juniper, you and Laser have maxed your social link. You have a lightning spell concentrated on.
Okay. I'm gonna throw some more lightning at Red, so I'm gonna need another dex save.
Oh no. Well, maybe some of the things she's good at you could attack. 14, that's not gonna
That's
do
not
it.
gonna do it. Let me roll that 5d10. Come on. 41 damage.
That's going to be 82 damage as Laser does fire from all three of his mouths to assist you, and it's a lightning and fire storm, a bonanza you unleash on the God of Peace.
I feel like I'm supposed to be stopping and thinking about the irony of all this violence I'm enacting on the God of Peace, but I'm just very happy to have finally gotten off a good attack roll. Stop being indecisive. Stop being indecisive.
Yep. Yeah, so Red is seems in a bad way. She falls to one knee. Her clothes are all melted. It seems like she's trying to reload her gun, but a bunch of the bullets, by the fire and the lightning, start going off and shooting into the floor. So
now,
it's not good.
All I need to do now is keep an eye open for anyone that tries to be sneaky and get a kill steal at the last second.
Interesting you say that.
I'm watching.
It's funny you say that, Laura. Can I get a perception check?
18. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you see two people who are approaching, Gale and Walter. Walter's riding on a displacer beast. Gale's just flying. They are arriving late. They were, holding off the other Fortunato siblings who, looking around, don't appear to have made it. You don't know if they're dead, but they got beat up and left behind. So help is arriving. I think, in fact, Gale says, "You need anything, Juniper?"
We just need you keeping an eye out to make sure no one evil comes in and kill steals. Cause I'm pretty confident we can do this. We just need to not have someone swoop in while I'm trying to get the lightning ready.
I will say there are two other people unaccounted for. Sid, that is Sydney, the elf bard, and of course Zana, the half elf.
Yes, this is what I'm worried about.
But yeah, Walter and Gale are approaching. I think when she called out and asked if you needed anything, you said to keep an eye out. So she is going to start playing a song on her guitar and cast Detect Magic. And she says, "Oh, there's a lot of magic. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on. Uh-oh."
Yep, there is a lot of magic. Is any of it shaped like a person who's not out here publicly fighting?
Because you got an 18, I've given you two characters and a detect magic here. I think Gale is about to find what you want, but I needed a 20 to give it to you this moment. So let us move to Fortunato, who says to little boy Justice, "Your brain doesn't work. I'm doing you a favor." And casts Blight. Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh. 10.
Uh-oh.
That's not going to do it. Blight is a necrotic damage spell. You take 41.
41. Okay, wait. Can I let me see.
I don't think that qualifies for absorb elements, but
Yeah,
we'll double
I
check
do have.
here.
Wait, does absorb element do necrotic or no?
I don't think so, but let's just double check for you.
Acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder. No.
Necromantic energy washes over a creature of your choice you can see within range, draining moisture and vitality from it. You just get dry as fuck.
Oh no!
Oh, wait.
You get the opposite of like when you prune up in the bath. That, but in reverse.
You're like super dehydrated.
You're becoming
okay.
jerky.
No, but I'm going to use my stone's endurance to take 10 off of that.
All right, yeah. So Fortunato like plunges their hand, which is like covered in this gingerbread, into your side, and then the goo inside of the gingerbread starts like sucking out your moisture, like some kind of lamprey or leech or something. And you only because of your Goliath skin, is it not a fatally deep wound? And it is your turn.
So yeah, I'm going.
Faces into nothingness there.
First and foremost, but also as I do like my moan in agony. I noticed that Gale and Bolter came and the Fortunato siblings did not seem to make it. So that's just an interesting. I don't know. Has Fortunato noticed that his that their siblings don't seem to be of this world anymore?
It's difficult to say.
Well, I'm going to just sort of bring that up to them and sort of just point that out that it seems like you might want to help us kill death so that we could maybe bring back your siblings because it seems like they ate shit and died.
That's very selfish and exactly what's wrong with you. Your biome would create demand from all over the world. People will rush here from every corner and kill each other in the process. The bloodshed will be unimaginable.
That is a good point. I guess I'm gonna counter that by killing you and not bringing back your siblings. And I'm going to swing with my short sword. So yeah, I do 13 for that. That one doesn't hit, right?
13 does not hit.
Okay. 14?
Nope.
Fuck!
To quote another Cormac McCarthy work, Fortunato says,
Nothing is crueler than a coward, and the slaughter to come is probably beyond our imagining. And it is your fault.
And as they, block all of Little Boy Justice's sword and hammer swings with their gingerbread armor, of all the fights, it seems like Little Boy Justice is the one who's going to lose. We are back to Buddy and Piccolo.
Oh no.
Piccolo, you are kind of under the swag tusk. Buddy is on top. He was hammering you with the iron rod, but has stopped because you rolled a 19. What do you want to say or do here?
I don't know, man. I feel like we can both get what we want if we just go kill the god. That's my opinion. And I don't know. And you could still hang out with animals if we make this new biome. There's animals in there. They can hang out. There's a lot of space for animals. Animals need plants. Right? Swag Tusk, can you back me up? You love eating them.
All right, you know what? To sew this fight up, animal handling.
20. I've convinced the Swag Tusk.
Absolutely. There's no other way this could have gone. In hindsight, I can't believe we ever thought it could be any other way. A 20 on animal handling. Piccolo, you win your fight. Paint me the picture of how.
First of all, me and the Swag Tusk and I are now bros. Buddy and I are bros, and Buddy no longer hates himself.
Was it just you asking the swag tusk what it wanted? Was there more to that, or was that just like all it took?
Well, I mean, once I convinced the swag tusk, of course Buddy's gonna go along. Swag tusk is cool. They're bonded psychically. If someone convinced my dodo, I mean, you can't really convince a dodo of anything. There's nothing in there. But you know what I mean?
Sure. I'm just curious if there's anything more to that. Like, it was just.
Well, I just thought maybe the swag tusk would look back up at Buddy and be like, he's right, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I do gotta eat plants.
Okay. And then Buddy is like, yeah, you're right. I guess I will be famous and rich enough off my own research. I don't need the maps and Juniper's stuff. But come on, I would have been so cool. I would have been.
Yeah, but then you would have always known it wasn't really you. So any accomplishments you have now are going to be 100% you, dude.
Okay, I still don't want Little Boy Justice to bring that animal stabbing bastard back.
Well, we can just kill little boy Justice before he does that. It's fine.
On board. Sick.
All right, sick.
All right.
Pound it, dude.
Treyan, you are down at Sprinkles levels. You mouth Gladys Throg to her. She unsummons the buff bunny. What do you do next? This is your last turn here before you run out of air.
Well, so like my thought is that Tran looks at Sprinkles, flashback to like the times that in Dragon Quest Throg has talked quite a bit to Gladys and Tran about like, you know, needing to be able to kill when necessary and stuff like that. There is a twitch, arm raises with P2 in hand, before Tran simply releases the sword, and I wouldn't say like collapses, but just sort of like he goes a little limp in resignation that he can't go through with like killing Sprinkles in this instance here, because like, yeah, it's like the sword comes up and he sort of like looks in Sprinkles' eyes, and then the sword releases, falls down, hits the ground. It doesn't make a loud clanging noise, but the vibration is felt through the controllers when you're playing this in the Xbox Series X adaptation, like in Dead Space, you know, because sound's not traveling through the air, you know. And there's and of course there's at least one tear like rolling down Trey's cheek as he's just sort of conflicted about basically getting vengeance, but also just being like incapable of just going through with actually killing Sprinkles in this instance.
I think Sprinkles reaches into her bag of holding behind her capelet and pulls out something, and it's kind of awkward to get it out just because of the angles. It's a small bag holding a big item, and she has to kind of struggle with it. But eventually she pulls out a big magic pickaxe, and she drops it onto the ground in front of you.
That's very interesting. Very interesting. I'm trying to think how to respond to that because the implication of what that means is still not entirely clear. Just like,
yeah, as Tran's confusion is visible on his face, seeing what appears to be Throg's pickaxe from their journey, Sprinkles reaches into her bag of holding and pulls out, with some difficulty, a pickaxe and drops it on the ground in front of you.
so there's two pickaxe? Oh, a second pickaxe, right.
And then, with some difficulty, Sprinkles reaches into her bag of holding and pulls out a pickaxe and drops it onto the ground in front of you.
Upon seeing this, Treyan, running out of breath, sort of blinks a few times, and then carefully hugs Sprinkles.
Absolutely. Do you, out of character, want to explain why? Or do we think the audience understands what's happening?
I can explain out of character for the others here. We can leave the bit for the audience, out of there for audience. out of character in Dragon Quest, Cosmion's character Gladys had a plan to take the weapons from the reliquaries and duplicate them so that there was no longer just one per person, but multiples that could be given out to as many people who need them, basically.
And if this has been done with the pickaxe, that means Gladys was not only successful, but is alive.
Yes. So basically, the one of the plans from Dragon Quest has been successful, and somehow there is a way to duplicate the reliquary items and such like that. So.
And this presumably means that Treyan no longer is in immediate need of bringing anyone back to life.
While true, he can't communicate that with anyone else because there's no air around him, so no one can hear him talk.
Oh,
So
fuck. That's so good.
I just realized this. This is not, oh my god. So what if you pass out from loss of air? You don't die, but you can't tell everyone, hey, we don't need to do this incredibly risky things. My friends are okay.
Well, to be fair, we still have at least one person in the team who does also still want Revival Land to happen.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's completely fine. I do think, if it's fine for Treyan to hug Sprinkles and then immediately just go limp on the ground, just passing out just immediately from it. He goes from 78 hit points down to unconscious in one fell swoop.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the most interesting thing because, while, Piccolo still wants to bring Peter back, we are avoiding a long conversation where Treyan's like, hey, I don't need this anymore, and we can make a less interesting season 2 seasons from now.
Yeah.
It is a nice little bit of irony, and I will say, I'm glad Treyan is... I'm glad Treyan's a coward and cowarded out of killing the sweet little precious Sprinkles,
I mean, then you would need the respawn pool.
That is true.
Oh, yeah. Juniper, it's your turn. I was going to just going to put my cards on the table here. Zana, invisibly, which is a spell she can get as a bard, sneak up and stab Red through the heart from the back. But you, when I gave you the option to ask your girlfriend for something, you asked her to look for somebody sneaking around. And so you have solved my sneak puzzle.
Hooray!
Gale says, right behind Red! And there's like a shimmering like predator cloak of Zana sneaking up. And she has the jewel encrusted the rapier, which she got when the Trivia dropped it in the storm. She was invisible, waiting to get her weapon back. And she is leaping forward, lunging to kill Red.
Okay.
What do you do?
I feel like the two options here are try and hit Zana to stop her, or try and get one attack in on Red to get the kill before Zana reaches. And between the two, what I know about Zana is that Zana has managed to not be engaged in this whole fight, which means that Zana is probably very healthy and a very challenging fight ahead still, whereas the impression I get with Red is that one really good hit might be enough to do it. Juniper, with Laser right by her side, is going to use the scythe to slice one final hit into Red.
Oh my god, do you do the thing from the end of G Gundam where you and Laser take the scythe together?
It's the bit in the mech anime where both people in the mech have to turn their keys to do the one big attack, and it's gonna it's gonna burn the engines out, but we're gonna do it.
So Red is prone and you have a friend. So you get the very rare and only spoken of in hushed tones, triple advantage.
Oh. So
Triple advantage. Oh boy.
Okay, let's see if we hit with triple advantage.
I haven't seen this in weeks.
Okay, so we've got a 15, a 17, and a 25. Does one of those hit?
Oh, that was so close. The AC was 18, so you do.
I do need the triple advantage. Thank you, Austin.
All right. Paint me the picture. This is a a killing blow. Red is being pummeled from every side. Everybody's attacking her. She looks up at you. Do you have a last interaction here?
Thank you, and I'm sorry it had to come to this.
It's on you now. Whatever happens, the blood's on your hands, Juniper.
I'd rather it be on my hands than me pretend that indecision absolved me of any of it.
That's not fair. I was gonna hit her first.
Well, I was gonna not suck, so...
Excuse me, if anyone sucks here, it's you. And you're missing a foot, and I have 2 feet, so who's really on steady ground here? You don't even know what you're talking about. And also, what if that's not Red? And also, you're a bad person for killing a god.
Juniper's going to throw the 7-foot at Zana in an attempt to intimidate.
Ew! That's disgusting. You're so gross. Ugh, you're so weird.
I get advantage on intimidation. 12. At least it wasn't the 4 it was originally going to be as Juniper throws her foot at Zana.
Yeah, so you throw the foot at Zana, which knocks her off balance psychologically just long enough for you to finish the fight. Paint me the picture of you killing the God of Peace.
With Laser's hand still on the scythe, Juniper is going to attempt to cleave straight between the body and the head, just right through the neck.
Perfect. A clean kill. You decapitate Red. Her head goes rolling across the saloon floor. And from her corpse and her blood, a ring around her of foliage begins spreading out as the land begins taking on the characteristics that we've discussed throughout the last arc of the season. We can talk about this all over again.
It's like the train is unconscious unless somebody wakes him up to help with Zana. So,
yeah, actually, that's interesting. So all this foliage is spreading. I think as it goes underneath Trayan, obviously it overwrites the paintbrush effect that Sprinkles was having. So the air rushes back in, and you can you can stand up and enter the scene when you want to, Trayan. But yeah, the air plants we discussed spread across the ground. What was a featureless kind of void into the nothingness below you becomes a nutrient-rich ocean. Above you, there are the floating crystals, as Mari described. Everyone get a hand on this ball and kind of describe the ecosystem.
Oh, there's air plants. You can Google air plants. They have really cool colors. And they feed off of the moisture and nutrients in the air and things that are dead that fall onto the roots and rot on top of the roots, so they absorb that.
I'd like to think that because of the way that we have the air plants as a focal thing, the way that the air looks in general, the sky looks in general, is rather different, because I would say the air is unusual for us, nutrient dense. So the sky isn't blue all the time. It has a weird hues cast depending on the nutrients that are found in it. Basically, you can almost think of it as how there's a variety of soil types due to nutrient content. There's a variety of air gradients based on nutrients found in the air itself.
Also, the vibe storms are absolutely chill.
Yeah. There's also I'm imagining just a massive spire that's shooting up from the base to high up above, it's like a gothic spire that's jagged, like a vine that's sort of knotted together and covered in thorns, and it is the massive firehouse. It's all seeing and looking out over everything and watching everyone at all times.
Okay, the panopticon vine.
Yeah, but it's okay because it's just for fires.
Oh, I'm so glad that the panopticon is only for fires. Of all the things that of all the things this character could have done, it could have gone so much worse.
Yeah, no, it's a panopticon. It's like, it's very like gothic and threatening, but it's only for fire safety.
I like to believe that different vibe storms give you different cool vibes. Like each of them is a different chill drug. Some of them are mushrooms, like, you hallucinate a little. Other are weed. It's fun. And then like different people can chase different storms for fun. There's one coming in. And they always make you feel good. Austin.
Yeah, Austin.
I'm so scared you're gonna be like, and now here's like meth storm or something. I'm so scared.
We won. We get to have an ending now.
We get what we want. This is how it works.
I want a place where people can go and just like feel better. That's all I wanted.
It's funny you say that, which is something I feel like I'm saying a lot today. But both in and out of character, there's an interesting kind of kismet here, because you're like, oh no, please let it be peaceful. Don't twist this. But that was Red's whole motivation, is that anything that's sufficiently desirable will be fought over. And so you're in perfect alignment with the antagonist's motivation. She was like, I just want to make something good. I just want it to be perfect. And there is no perfect, because A, the world is not perfect, and B, we're playing a game about conflict.
Yeah. For Juniper, I think the main thing that she's sort of watching unfold is, as plant life is sort of springing into being around this area, some of it sort of starts to glow a little bit, some of it seems to be moving a little more than you would expect plants to be able to, and watching plants start to form that are going to have a greater degree of resilience or ability to avoid being damaged by people. Just a degree of hardiness and ability to move out the way of something that's trying to do it harm, as plant life starts to take on a bit of a new form.
And inversely, you have water structures where there's one half is underwater and the other half goes above water effectively. So almost like a root structure that erupts up from the water like a fountain frozen in time.
Piccolo says, damn, girl, do those roots go all the way up?
All the way up and all the way down. I'll let you know.
God, yeah.
Buddy looks disgusted at this.
Mm-hmm. It's very obscene for Buddy. It's just like, you have it all out there. Come on, have some decency, have some modesty, cover yourself up. Be more plant Christian. I don't know what it is.
This is what Buddy was talking about. Plants are disgusting.
What kind of animals are here? Should we get into that?
I think there's got to be a certain degree of traditional farm animals, because
right.
Laser was did have a hand on that scythe as it did the kill. I feel like Laser gets an input there.
Well, I mean, we already have vines. We have bovines already. Easy, done,
Jesus
simple.
Christ!
Oh my God, you're right.
So that's
it's vines that are just cattle, and they're just
that's right.
That just sort of like creep and crawl along the surface of anything, and they're all like bunched together, and like tied together for this like sort of like rope that binds them all.
Last point of note, I propose a floating puff little thing there. There's a plant. It's called a Palmeranian.
Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Yeah, someone, I please, audience, in the gap between the seasons, please, I need a big list of like animal plant puns like that. Palmeranian is a good one. Let's get that ball rolling. I expect it on my desk in the next 9 months.
Oh, I've got one. Elmlephant.
There we go. Let's fucking go.
What about underwater?
That's a big question. I assume that is where the resurrection stuff is. Before we started recording, I should say, you put in the chat, Mari, something about I think you called it the Well of Resurrection. Yes, I pulled the message up, which we've never said this explicitly, but I'm imagining at the bottom of this ocean, there is just a deep, dark hole. And if you throw somebody's body part in there, the person will just float back out, is how I'm picturing this.
See, and that's why I always keep the head of anyone I care about, just in case.
That's what I'm picturing exactly, is you going down and putting Peter's head into this well of resurrection, as you call it, which is just a bottomless, fathomless pit at the bottom of the ocean. So it is still a quest, a journey to revive someone. It is not an infinitely easily accessible save point for everyone who dies forever.
You have to have people care about you enough to keep your head.
I like that idea a lot. I also want to throw out that I just thought of hippopoto moss.
Yes! Oh, that's good.
Suck it,
Some
Pokemon
good shit
Company.
right there.
Sorry, you've given me a pun format, and if you learnt anything from the season I did as a Neelix, I will come up with puns. They'll be terrible, but I'll do puns for you.
But yeah, everyone's okay with the Well of Resurrection. I love this. This means that Peter can come back. It does mean that Vimble cannot, and I would love to see those social consequences because his body has been lost.
I really like the Well of Resurrection as a structural idea.
Okay, because once again, this is a future season we're setting up here, so I think it's important to think through the consequences of this as far as narrative substructure goes, as far as foundation goes. So if this was a thing where everyone who ever died anywhere showed up, that would be an extremely different set of circumstances and context than some people will come with the bones of their loved ones to ask to be brought back.
I think that this is maybe a thing that it's not a guarantee that the person will come back, that it is maybe a difficult journey to get down there. If you are not someone who is already, lives and can breathe underwater, there is a chance that you may not be able to make that journey successfully, that this is something that is a long shot and a big risk, but something that does exist as an option.
Which leads, I think, naturally to the party for season 11 is people who, offer to take the body parts of people down there on a quest for them or something.
Yeah.
Which is in contrast to say if we're what brings people back is there's a fruit that grows here that you can put the juice on your bones and they're coming back. And then that becomes a season about people hoarding and fighting over and smuggling that fruit.
Yeah, this is not a use-upable resource. This is something that there is indeed a market for people who are I want my person to come back, but I'm also not going to risk me dying to have that happen. You go do it.
Okay. I like that. So if we all agree, I think we've shaped this place. Is everyone happy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so with one fluid movement, Laser and Juniper strike Red's head from her shoulders, and a fountain of blood splashes onto Zana, outlining her in a way which makes her kind of visible to everyone. She was under an invisibility spell, and now there is a kind of bloody outline of a half-elf here, and she says, "If you thought Walter's blood let me summon a cool demon, what do you think the blood of a god is going to do?"
I saw a spark against the dark, and we erupt, but it's a slow burn. We take our chance and start to dance, can see enough to know to turn around. The sound of a bonfire carries over fences, titillates our senses, but we don't need the heat. A chill wind is pushing you into me, and it's looking like we might be burning down. But we're a bonfire, we keep putting in. Oh, we're a bonfire. bonfire. I keep putting in, you keep putting in. I take your hand, but you demand a different love, a different touch. So off we go to burn below. The kindling wasn't quite enough. The sound of a bonfire carries over fences, titillates our senses, but we don't need the heat. A chill wind is pushing you into me, and it's looking like we might be burning, might be burning, might be burning down. But we're a bonfire. I keep putting in, you keep putting in. Oh, we're a bonfire. I keep putting in, you keep putting in. Ooh, 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 ooh. And it's so cold, but I don't care. I pull against you and I smell your hair, and I hear crickets all around. And in the night, I think they might see our light, 'cause we're a bonfire. But we're a bonfire. I keep putting in, you keep putting in. Oh, we're a bonfire. I keep putting in, you keep